A new twist in the Unicron War for Cybertron crowdfunding crazy figure has surfaced recently. On Takara-Tomy's website, they did an announcement how the Unicron figure will be available on display at Wonderfest coming up very soon. But there was another thing also that was mentioned that really caught people's eyes, and was the mention that the War for Cybertron Unicron will also be available later on as a Takara-Tomy Mall exclusive. Now, this is a big revelation, and it really changes the game in a lot of ways, especially when what I was talking about before with the long game. Now, this is something that is going to affect a lot of things. Number one, the fact that it's going to be a TakaraTomy Mall exclusive means that the amount of time necessary for people to think about if they want to buy this, save up money, or how they want to go about this now exponentially increases. Because now it's like a masterpiece toy. It's like all previous TakaraTomy Mall exclusives. It's like Grand Maximus. It's like some of the Legends EX stuff. You could think about it. There's a website you could go to. You could pull the trigger on it. But how does this affect now the crowdfunding? Is the pre-orders that are going to be from TakaraTomy Mall exclusive, are they going to go towards the crowdfunding? And the crowdfunding thing is still extremely dependent on this happening completely? Is the announcement of the TakaraTomy Mall exclusive a bit like opportunity? Is that going to greatly affect people's decision to have any kind of involvement with the crowdfunding? And as a result, the crowdfunding doesn't hit the 8,000 supporters because people just go, well, I'm going to wait now and wait for a TakaraTomy Mall one and get some money. And then if the 8,000 doesn't happen, then that mean that all of this doesn't happen? I think the information has to be really clear here, because let's do part one here. I wish you guys could see me on video or something. Let's do part one here. Let's say that the TakaraTomy Mall exclusive pre-orders are dependent on the 8,000 supporters, and all the pre-orders from that go into that 8,000. Then it's business as usual, and we're going to have to make sure that this thing hits the 8,000 supporters for this to happen. But, and this is a big but, if in the end the TakaraTomy Mall exclusive, well, I'll say version, but it's going to be the same thing, if any of the past Siege toys and the tail end of Power of the Primes are any indication of stateside to Japan, if the TakaraTomy Mall exclusive Unicron version is not dependent on the success of the crowdfunding or not, then this is going to have a major change in how we could tackle this and how we could go about purchasing this. Because let's be honest, I mean, when we're talking to other high-end Transformer items, whether they be third-party in nature or just an expensive masterpiece toy, everyone has been able to get it with less of a stress because they could think about it, they could wait it out. Anyone that's picked up a Masterpiece Dinobot or Megatron, Beast Wars Megatron recently, knows how, they had time to breathe and think about it before they made the purchase, and even after the pre-orders were over, and then it hits retail and it hits, convention floors and everything like that. They still were able to think about it and make those decisions, and they're still on websites. So, and the same goes for like the even more expensive and larger third-party stuff like the Omega Supreme and Utopia with Metroplex. So it's something that if this TakaraTomy Mall version is a reality and there is no connection to the crowdfunding and the 8,000 people, then guys, take it from me, just go about it that route. Then you could really relax. You could really, you could work your 5 days a week and put a little money aside towards it. And, realistically, think about it. Like, if you put aside like maybe $50, $75 a week aside from your paycheck for this, you'll be good in 2 months, no problem. You know what I mean? So it's something that I think, personally, if the second scenario is a reality, then we don't even need to look at this crowdfunding thing. But if this thing is extremely dependent on the crowdfunding thing being successful, then we still have kind of a problem where we have to make sure this thing goes through. And really the only reason why this TakaraTomy Mall version exists is more so to give an opportunity for international people. because currently the crowdfunding is only for Canada and USA. So the Takara-Tomy mall version will be for the rest of the world and, of course, native Japan. But again, we need more information here, because this is something that it's good news, but it's only good news if things are much more clear. Because like I said, if scenario 2 happens, and this thing is going to happen no matter what, regardless of what happens with the 8,000 people, and if it even hits that, which, by the way, as of this recording is only about 1,200 people, we'll see. We'll see, definitely, because that's a game changer, a big game changer for a lot of people, because there's a lot of expensive stuff coming out in the next couple of months. And for people who have big pre-orders and stuff, I mean, I don't really count into that. I always wait the long game with a lot of retail items. But for some people, that's a lot of stuff dropping in August, September, October. So this is going to be very interesting to see. And we still have, again, we have 40 plus days left. And I know there's going to be probably all kinds of news and all kinds of rumblings. And you know that I'm going to constantly be giving my 2 cents about this. Anyone who's been following on my Twitter, it's just been tons of talking and bickering. And there's a lot going on. I mean, and again, I understand it. We're talking Unicron here. We're talking the centerpiece of the 86 movie. We're talking a character that prior to 2001 was just the most in-demand, controversial, we want this toy to exist character before the Armada toy came. And then when it came, it was what we wanted, but it wasn't what we wanted. And then we pretty much had to deal with that mold for more than a decade and a half, with it being retooled and retweaked to kind of look like how he did in the 86 movie, but it still wasn't there because of its grounding in that Micron/Armada skeleton and design. So this is what we want. This is what we got. And this is what we've always wanted. But we just have all these emotions going on right now. And maybe this Takara-Tomy mall thing could at least appease some of those individuals, where now it's not a countdown. Now it's not this clock going down and people freaking out that they're not going to be able to afford it. Now it's something where it's like, hey, you want it? It's there. Start saving, and the opportunity will show itself sooner or later. Let me know what you think about this. This is some good news, if it is what I think it is. And either way, it seems that this toy is going to be on full display on Wonderfest, July 28th in Japan. So definitely let me know what you think about all of this.